This is the reviewer's way. Oh, it was necessary to do this for the review.
Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, so today I am here to review for you The Mandalorian Season 1. And as you all know, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world, so I brought along an old buddy, an old friend, if you remember, old pal, who is a Star Wars expert, I would say.
Close.
I'd say you know a lot more than me.
Because you don't know shit.
I do not know shit. So I brought him along on this one, and you remember him from our old Terry Spears reviews of his films. So, The Mandalorian Season 1. It's kind of basically a space western.
Almost. It is 100% a space western.
Yes, it is. And we follow along a Mandalorian, and he runs into, essentially, a bigger plot than he anticipated. At least in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, he wanted to do, one job?
Yeah, it was just one job, one simple job, get in, get out. And a whole mess of galaxy consequences ensue. So I must say that out of all of Star Wars, this is probably the most impressive thing I've seen coming out of Star Wars.
I'm personally a big fan, but I liked it probably more than the sequels and definitely more than the prequels. I wouldn't say I like it more than the original, though.
I like it more, I think, than the originals, maybe with the exception of Empire Strikes Back.
So Empire's kind of perfect.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back is actually a very solid film. But I think in terms of all the rest of them, it definitely is superior. Because it was simple, it was effective, it knew what it was, and it stuck to it every single time. It didn't feel disingenuous. And anytime it tried something new, like whether it's humor, bringing in certain guest characters, it didn't feel like it was betraying what it was. It was very much its own thing.
Yeah. Personally, I enjoyed the all-star cast getting everyone under the fucking sun in this shit.
Yeah, true. Bill Burr.
You were shocked at every time they revealed any character. You're like, and that's, oh my god, is that Nick Nolte? Is that Carl Weathers? Is that Bill Burr?
Yeah, especially Bill Burr. I'm like, of all people, Bill Burr got in this. Like, what in the world? So many guest characters. I mean, in all reality, I bet every actor and their mother wants to be in Star Wars right now.
I mean, whether you like it or not, you gotta be in it.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars.
It's like, so, yeah, you're just gonna say yes to do it. But it's like, and Bill Burr was great with what he had to do. It's like no guest character felt out of place either. Even Nick Nolte. And Nick Nolte is a terrifying human being.
Mm-hmm.
But I must say that it was surprisingly impressive, and I will go on record and say this is the only time I've liked anything Taika Waititi's ever done.
Told you were going to like it.
You
said you were going to hate the episode he directed.
Yep, I wasn't looking forward to any of the Star Wars anything, and then this one was the one that proved me wrong, that I said, wow. I've always said that to you guys on record, that I go into every Star Wars thing saying maybe this is the one that I actually say is the exception to the rule, and it usually never is. This one for me was. I was like, whoa, shit, it actually didn't suck. It was quite good. It was definitely better than that Witcher TV show, which I still need to review once I can manage to stay awake through episodes 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
I still need to watch it.
It's there. There will be thoughts on that. Shameless plug. But what was your favorite part of The Mandalorian?
Oh, fuck. God, so, I mean, I can't talk about one thing because of spoilers, but I did like episode 4 when they go Seven Samurai.
Yeah, that was a really solid episode.
Probably one of my favorite episodes. That one, and I think it was episode 6 when they're on the prison ship.
Yeah, I think those are my two favorite episodes, although I will say the finale is really satisfying.
That's what I like.
Yeah, and they don't, and I brought this up to you last night, is they don't ever go cheap with TV shows with this one, because it felt like it had movie production value. It didn't feel like a TV show at all. It felt like an 8-hour movie.
Yeah. It wasn't even 8 hours. It was like 4 hours.
Oh, yeah, because it was 30-minute episodes, so
Like
yeah.
4 to 4.5 hours.
So essentially it was just a Lord of the Rings extended edition of a Star Wars movie.
Yep.
That's fine. With this, that was perfectly fine. Also, another thing that they did really nice was the fact that the combat, you could actually see what was going on.
Yes.
Too many movies nowadays, the way they shoot their action scenes, you can't see what's going on. This one they could, and so many uses of flamethrowers.
Oh god, every episode, 1 to 3 times, he would just throw out that flamethrower. Even when it's not going to work. He goes to throw a punch against the rebel shock trooper, I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
And as he's throwing the punch, he lights up the flamethrower to throw this punch. She immediately just like knocks out of the way. It's like, no. Which happens every time.
The flamethrower is technically the most useless thing in this show, but it looks so cool that it's fine. We just accept it.
It just happens every time. I know you're on the edge of your seat every episode, like, oh my god, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna?
Yeah.
There's the flamethrower.
Yeah, we'd sit there like, flamethrower, flamethrower. Ah, he did it. He did it. The flamethrower. Good
I
job.
think it was in the prison ship. You were sitting there like, it's 20 minutes in and I haven't seen a flamethrower. What's going on? And then out of nowhere he goes to go fight someone and immediately just throws the flamethrower out and you're like, ah, there it is.
Yeah, I love that. And you know, I think they did a really good job at doing expanded universe lore of Star Wars without it being just out there. They did a really good job of just sprinkling it in.
Yeah.
So for those people who don't know the details, it's just kind of there, and you're like, oh, okay. And then for people who do, you say, oh, or you'd explain things and say, hey, that's because of this whole thing back here. I'd have no freaking clue, but I was like, oh, yeah, there's some backstory right there that I don't understand, but to other people it makes sense. It was a nice little detail. It didn't rely too heavily on its lore, but at the same time it was still there for fans who care.
I mean, up until the end when they start getting really into that Mandalorian creed that they still never talk about.
Yeah, they did get really into some Mandalorian lore. Probably, in the last episode?
In the last episode, they start talking about, like, they never directly say what the creed is, but they keep saying you have to do this because of the creed, you have to raise this because of the creed, you have to do that because of the creed, etc., etc.
I'd say if you're not a Star Wars fan and you don't have a fan around you like this guy, you might want to pull up the wiki page on the last episode.
It's still really, really good, and you really don't need any of the, like, creed, the lore, or anything to go through with it. I think the last scene's going to be a little bit confusing, but I mean, most people understand what he's holding.
Yeah, you kind of get an
Not necessarily
idea.
what it specifically is, but what it is.
Yeah, I'd say you have an idea, at least, of what it is. And I didn't feel like I was left out when I saw certain shots in that last episode, but it definitely would help to kind of have that extra understanding. That being said, again, like he said, you don't really need it. But it was still entertaining at that. Trying to think, what else could we add about the show?
We got super battle droids in there. You gotta watch them wrist rockets.
Oh yeah, there were some interesting things from even like the prequels with like like you said, the super battle droids and all that I never thought I'd see in a Star Wars movie again.
Yeah, they just pull them straight in.
Yeah, they're just there.
I don't even think that counts as spoilers. It's like, what, first episode they show them?
Yeah, it's like the first 2 minutes of the episode or something like that.
Oh, no, not the first 2 minutes of the episode, because the first 2 minutes of the episode is him walking into that cantina and just royally fucking shit up without saying a single word.
True. God, they
that real Beskar slash.
They do a really good job with some of those action scenes where they just make you say the Mandalorian is super cool.
And he doesn't even like do any over dramatic jumping around or moving. There was one scene when he fights knockoff Han Solo.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't even do anything cool. He launches a flare, takes 2 steps to the left, and shoots him.
Yeah, I'd say in episode 6 is when they really start showing you the like intense badassery of the Mandalorian. But besides that, he never really does anything outlandish and like superhero-y.
Well, I mean, he stabbed that mudhorn.
Yeah.
With a knife and nothing else really. He tried to flamethrower, it didn't work.
He did. You know, you have to try flamethrowering at least once in every episode. Presumably at least 3 times in every episode. But, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like, they always talk about how they're, like, these intense, like, the most badass warriors in all of the universe. You don't really technically see him be ultra badass, I think, except for maybe episode 6.
So yeah, episode 6 when he just like destroys them droids.
Oh yeah, and then I guess it's a spoiler, so I can't really say, but there's certain people that just get murked.
Yeah.
Or as the hip kids say these days, yeeted. And of course we have to talk about in the finale episode the scout troopers. The dialogue between those characters.
It's fantastic.
It really is. It is some of the best dialogue in all of Star Wars.
It's the most real thing I've ever heard a stormtrooper say.
Yeah, and you know, we both worked in the security business. Somebody had to have, Jon Favreau, the showrunner, Taika Waititi, the director of the episode, or somebody had to have worked in security or something, and had to work with a partner in order to make that scene happen as natural as it did.
I'm gonna say most of the stormtroopers in the episode aren't actually actors, so one of them might have been a security guard.
That is true.
It's been like, yo, this is exactly what I would have done in that situation because fuck this.
Yep. They have just such real dialogue, and some of their dialogue has spoilers, so we can't just quote them. But they became like the most likable characters in the Star Wars universe. And wow, this show was just really impressive.
Really well done. I really liked it.
I cannot wait for season 2. We also need to take a moment to shout out to the blacksmith.
Oh yeah, the armorer.
Or the armorer, yes. The armorer is freaking great.
She is really cool. She likes to say this is the way.
They really like this is the way. That is kind of just the Mandalorian thing.
It is. This is the way.
This is the way. I think we started saying, after we started watching the show, we said this is the way a lot of times.
I think episode 3... No, wait. Was it episode... Yes, I think it was episode 3. They start saying this is the way.
Yeah.
Because that's when he gets back to the Navarro, whatever the fuck that planet's called. He gets back there and like he turns in like all the Beskar and she's like, curious, this is well suited for you. Then he gets into a fight with the Ham, the heavy artillery Mandalorian. And after they get like broken up, she's like, have you had your helmet removed? Have you taken off your helmet? No? Well, this is the way. Then he says this is the way. Then the Ham says this is the way. Then all the other Mandalorians say this is the way. And I think it's like a straight 30 seconds, this is the way.
Pretty much.
And then every couple of minutes after that, the Mandalorian's just like, this is the way. This is the way. This is the way. This is the way.
Yep. And then there's I Have Spoken is the other one that...
Oh, yeah. Nick Nolte.
Yep. I have spoken.
They do even make fun of This Is the Way in episode 6.
Yeah, Bill Burr does.
Yeah, it was Bill Burr and the Twilight, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
They're sitting there talking about him, they're like, oh, this is the way.
Yeah. I just have to say, you just should watch it. Like, watch The Mandalorian. It is really, really good.
Baby Yoda is just as cute as the internet thinks he is.
Oh, yeah, we do have to address the fact that, yes, Baby Yoda is surprisingly adorable.
Especially when he frogs.
Yeah, he does do that.
Frog legs sticking out of the mouth.
They knew what they were doing when
They
they
did.
made Baby Yoda. And they were like, toys and memes.
Speaking of toys, one of my favorite bits with Baby Yoda is in episode 5, when the person who's repairing his ship picks up Baby Yoda. You can tell it's still a puppet, and that puppet was not built for human hands to hold. And
Yeah.
they're like, hold it like you would a baby, but don't hold it, because you might break it. And she's like holding it so awkwardly, trying her best not to like drop an arm or something off of Baby Yoda.
Yeah, she's sitting there like, because Baby Yoda's still kind of moving and everything, so she's kind of like, It's like when that friend makes you hold their exceptionally ugly baby that you didn't want to hold to begin with. and you're just kind of like not trying to be rude at this point by being like, I don't want to fucking hold your baby. And then I'd say a coworker's ugly baby, because a friend's ugly baby's one thing, but a coworker's ugly baby, and you're just kind of like, yeah, right. There you go. It was so awkward, but it's because it was the puppet. And
it was definitely the puppet of that scene. That puppet was not built for human hands to hold.
You know, there has to be somebody out there who owns that baby Yoda, like
John Favreau probably, or Pedro Pascal.
True, it has to be one of them. But I have to say, now that we've addressed Baby Yoda, that I loved The Mandalorian. It definitely was one of the strongest season 1s to come out in a while.
I loved it so much. This is my 3rd time watching it. I watched it myself, watched it with a brother, and I've watched it with Scott.
Now, I've watched it once, so I must say that this might be the first thing of Star Wars in physical media if they release it on Blu-ray or something like that.
They will, you know it.
Oh yeah, Disney likes money.
It's money.
It's
free money.
True, it is free money. It would be the first Star Wars thing that I own in a long time in physical media in terms of the movies. I am still on the fence. I might buy Jedi Fallen Order. We'll see.
I'll tell you how it is.
Heck yeah. But I liked it. I don't have my conventional rating system for TV shows, so I'm going to give this actually a surprisingly 5 out of 5. I was very impressed. I don't think there was a single episode that bored me.
No, definitely not. You were on the edge of your seat the entire time.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Even when it was getting like late at night, we'd stay up and watch another episode because
we watched like the first one at 2 a.m. We watched the second episode the next day at roughly the same time. Then we sat down at 8 o'clock and just punched through the other 6 episodes.
Yep.
And finished it by 10 or 11, I want to say.
Yep, sounds about right. So, I have to say, I'm giving it a solid 5 out of 5. That is a shocker to me, and I'm sure it's a shocker to my regular audience.
I mean, this is the way.
This is the way. And so, at some point, I recommend all of you watch it. I imagine it has your seal of approval.
Yeah, it does. It's The Mandalorian.
Exactly.
I fucking love Mandalorians.
Yeah, man, I mean, I am
the basic white bitch of Star Wars fans, and Boba Fett's my favorite character. And in fact, after you watch all of The Mandalorian, it's going to pop up and say, hey, do you want to watch Star Wars Episode 5, the episode with Boba Fett in it?
It's really good, guys. Seriously, go check it out and watch it. You'll have a blast. Did you enjoy The Mandalorian? And if you didn't, explain to us why you're wrong. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got plenty more videos coming to you. Love you guys.